Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is January 3rd, 2025, and this is another quick trade review. This is all for educational purposes only because, as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right. I'm gonna put this out. I had told I hang out at Stock Twitter. I might put something out. I'm gonna get where I put something out there also, trying to get to my 500 subscribers to my YouTube page. So anybody, please subscribe, please like. I'm gonna start trying to do a little bit more here and all. But one of the things I had put out last year near the end of the year, and I had said I was going to put a video out on what I was looking at, what I saw, and why I expected this to do what it did. And it did exactly. It did close enough to what I expected to do. You can look at this right here. This kind of shows when I actually put it out. It was on November 18th of last year. Yes, I'm going to be putting everything that I do, I'm putting them out after the fact, and I'm only going to be doing maybe once a month, and even if they're good or bad, I will be putting them out there because, again, it helps me, see what's going on. Here's the date that I actually put it out right here, November 8th, November 18th. I had gave it. They have you to set up a target date, which is right there. I'll change this to black, which is right there. Target price, which was right there, and where it's actually trading at. I think maybe around now. I don't know exactly what. I'm done trading this right now. That's how I am. And it was trading around this price right here at the time I actually placed it out. So again, people who know me and know how I trade, I do not look to hit home runs. I look just to get on base type of thing. And a lot of times at Right Side Trading, a lot of times we look to make 10% on our trades, 10% or more, because if you can consistently make 10% on your trades, throughout the whole year, it makes it easy where you can make 50% or more on your overall account if it's done correctly. That's one of the things that I believe. I know I know a couple traders that I actually talk to and trade with. I know they make over 50% or over 100% on their account each year, and all pretty consistently based off our trading style. So what I'm not showing you everything on this particular trade, on this lucid trade, but I'm showing you enough to get you started. And it's really not even enough to get you started. It's just enough to where you can see what goes on. And if you're interested in this style of trading, you can just contact me or contact Wally at Right Side Trading, and we can see if we can actually help you or not. But let me go ahead and dig into here a little bit more. This was the trade, lucid. The date that we actually was looking at, I was actually looking at it, was on the 18th, and the date that I was actually looking for the trade to be over was on December 20th. What I'm actually go through is different ways that it could have been traded other than just buying the stock. I'm also going to look at option trades that could have been made on this particular trade. I won't get it too deep into the details of them because, again, the trades that I'm going to be showing may not be available to everyone, and all based on your trade, what they allow you to do with options. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. I'm going to move this out of the way and I'm going to move my thing out of the way and get it where you can actually look at the chart and see what I was seeing. One of the things when you're trading this stuff, it's all about entry and all about what you see on the chart. This date right here was the 15th. This was the 18th. I was looking at it over the weekend. I think that's a weekend actually, and me and this guy had been seeing this thing before, and I had said I think this thing has made its bottom because we see these where they drop, it comes in and then it pops. And then if you remember, the price that I actually was starting at was around 213, so it was on this day right here at the end of the day that I was looking at getting into this trade. And as you can see, it did go a little bit against me, but when I put out the trade thing, my stop on these trades was down here at 193. I didn't expect it to break this low. So that was the entry, the stop, and then my target. My target, I had a guy, he was asking me about the target and all, and how did I choose my target. My target, if you remember from the other screen, was 280, and my target was just trying to get back up to here where this thing gapped down and sold off. I was expecting it to at least come back to this point here, somewhere around here. I never tried to get the top and all, and from where it started at to where it was at, that was over 50 cents on the trade. So that's over 10% on the trade overall. It's close to 20% on the trade. So I was okay with that. And then the next part of the trade, as I had said, I had mentioned out, if you follow what I had put on stock Twitter, stock tweets and all, is that can it close the gap? And the reason now that I'm kind of looking at it is it has closed the gap here at the end of December after it hit my target and all. It did come up and close this gap, and now it's having a hard time going higher. And this is why these things are just trades for me, because based on what I've seen in the market before, a lot of times they will come up here, get to these points. They will actually try closing the gap, but thing is, will they continue to go and fight all this, resistance, all this selling off that it had before? So that's the big picture that I'm actually looking at. This is the gap that I had mentioned. If you guys go back and look and you see where I said something about a gap, this is the gap that I was talking about right here. Show you again. This gap, I got to go change to yellow. This gap right here is what I'm talking about. Will it actually close that area? Trade within that area. That's what I was kind of wasn't sure about. So that's why my exit on the trade was at this level right here, 280. I go down right here. If I can get this thing to draw for me, right here. My exit was down right here. This was my exit level. So my entry was right around here at this level, and my exit was at that level. Now, trading this, that was buying the stock and all, trading it there, done with the trade. Now, the other thing that you could have done, I'm actually switch over to a slide presentation a little bit here. Let me see if it's going to actually show up. Try to give it a try. Start with first slide, and I hope you are seeing that now. Yes, you are seeing that now. The other thing is, when you do these trades, it's kind of like, what are you expecting out of this trade? I say, what are you looking for? I'm a put seller. I like selling when I see things like that. On a lot of times on these little stocks, if they have decent pricing on the puts, I don't mind selling the puts, and I don't mind, except I'm thinking it's going to be a bullish type trade. It's at a point where it's going to be going up and all. I will sell the put and don't mind if I have to take ownership of the stock, I'll do it. I'm going to be selling my puts. It might be only like on this particular stock, it was only around 20 cents or so that I was collecting, and it's going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 days out. That's days to expiration for that put that I'm selling. My stop is really no stop on these for me. I'm willing to, if I'm selling that put, I'm willing to take ownership at the price that I'm selling it at, and it was a $2. I don't remember, it was a $2 strike that I was actually selling it at, So, and it was just above that $2 at the time, and I was okay with that. So your target really for this particular trade is just a close above $2. That's how I look at trading this. But there was also a couple other trades that you could have made on this. You could have sold the Strangle. And selling a Strangle, meaning you're going to be selling that put plus on a call. And that call, I would have sold it just above the price that I thought it would go to. And that would have been like $3 since I was expecting it to go to $2.80. So now on that particular trade, the way I kind of manage it, I am willing to buy the stock if I get in trouble. If it drops down on me where I sold my put at, I'm willing to take ownership of that stock. If it actually goes up and above where I had sold my call at before expiration, I'm willing to try to buy the stock based on the number of contracts I have, to make sure I buy enough shares to cover that, and use that call to actually sell the stock that I'm holding in my account. Do it that way. That way, usually it's all based on how you do it, how you go about managing that. You can keep that loss small and all, but it's something you have to take actions and all. I think buying the call itself, I think I actually I was watching buying the call. I never did buy the call. I think I saw the call go as low as 5 cents a contract, and I know it went up over 200% if you had purchased that call on the December contract. I was looking at a December contract. So that's pretty much that. And then, what am I looking at on the chart? Usually I'm looking for my entries, all I'm looking at is based on supply or resistance or demand and or support. And I'm also looking at candle patterns, and I also do use some indicators. This was down at what I thought was going to be a good demand level or support level, and we really didn't get a true candle pattern. We will switch back over to the charts right quick, and I'll take a quick look at that. And let me see if I can do that with this going just like this right now. There it is right there. As you can see, this candle right here on earnings, this is earnings and all back here, it gave me a nice push up. One of the things that we do, this is on a weekly chart too, it dropped down. We look to trade these things after earning. We have a before earnings and an after earning type trade. Here after earnings around this date on this week, it started turning green. And this is one of the other reasons that I was looking at this to actually get into a trade on this. So it looked like it had some support down here. It looked like it had maybe a little demand was coming in based on what had happened back here. Even though it dropped, it was kind of like wait and see what happens here. But my stop was established at this 193 to make sure that it didn't go back below that, and it never did see anything below that. You do almost have a bullish Arami down here at the right location, and also that was kind of like a plus, but it wasn't a nice clear one. But things are not going to be exactly the way you expect it. Target again is based on, like we was looking at that gap, a supply level and all for that target, and also any kind of candle pattern or whatever your indicators may be telling you that it's time to get out of that trade. Or your options can be, if you sold them, are just going to be expiring at that time. And again, let's take a quick look at the chart. Again, this time we want to switch to a day chart. I'm going to switch to a day chart on this. Zoom back in here. Zoom in here just to about this time right here. As you can see, this thing closed just above $3, I believe it was. And the close was at 302. So this is one of those ones, if you hadn't already closed that, if you had sold the call above there and you had sold it at $3, it was still only at 2 cents, based on what you had paid for it, had sold it for before. So it would only been 2 cents in the money, so it would only been worth 2 cents, and you still could have probably been able to close that call with no problem. The put, you did not have any problems on that side at all based on where it was at. Also, and I'm going just off of option expiration and all. So that was the thing. If you had purchased the call, you maybe should have given yourself a little bit more time. This is where I tell a lot of people, when you're buying options, a lot of times it can do exactly what you expect it to do. And because you didn't give it enough time, your calls that you purchased end up being worthless or not worth as much as you spent on those calls at the time. Because if you had a $3 call and all that you had purchased down here, yes, it had made a great move, but still at expiration, it's only worth 2 cents. And that's one of the things when it comes to options, you got to learn to take profit when you see it, because again, this is what can happen. And that's pretty much on, if you had sold the put, you was golden. If you had sold the call, it was only 2 cents. If you had purchased the call, it was only worth 2 cents. That's why when it comes to buying options, you really, really, really need to understand what you're doing and what you're trying to do and all. But let's go back over here again to the display right quick and stop. It's just usually for me, it's a hard stop. and all. Based on that low, I have to roll myself out of everything, or on, as I said, on the put that I'm selling, I'm willing usually to take ownership of that stock at that time, unless I see something really going bad, meaning this thing is continuing to look like it's on a downward trend. Okay, so now the other thing that you, as a trader, you may, the time frames that you use. I'm looking at, since this is for me, a long-term trade. It's over 15 days. It's over a week. So I'm gonna be looking. It's no be looking at minute charts, 5-minute charts, and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be looking at a day chart and a weekly chart. I want to see what the big picture is. I might go down to an hour or a 4-hour chart to verify things are beginning to go in the direction that I expected to really go, and I don't see any kind of weakness in the stock itself. And that's pretty much it. So to sum it all up, overview, it's all about your entry, all about understanding your targets, and all about having a stop in place. The other thing is I like using more than one time frame. And then what do you see? And it's, again, what I usually see, I can see that the stock is actually maybe looking like it's getting ready to turn around and getting ready to make a small move. I do not know how big of a move it's going to actually make. I've had some that do way more than I expected them to do. Last year was one of those crazy years where stuff, did some crazy moves. But that's just the way trading goes. The thing is, as long as you follow your plan, you make money. That's all that really matters. Bottom line, that you make money on the trade. And what it really comes down is like nailing those stops, knowing your target, nailing those entries, knowing your targets, and having that stop in place to keep your losses small. Bottom line, have a plan. And what do you see? And that's all I really want to share at this time. Let's take a just quick look at the stock again. As you can see, this thing is at a point where I kind of expected to slow down. That's why, again, it was 30 more cents out of this trade. That can be a lot of, it's all based on your position size. It's still probably no more than $300, $30, $3, based on the number of contracts that you were actually trading, based on the position, how many shares you were actually holding. It's not, to me, it's not worth it. There's other things out there that are better to trade. And that's why I have my plan, stick to my plan, and just move on to the next one. I hope this is being helpful. I'm going to be doing reviews like this one probably once a month maybe. And I'm going to start doing more trade reviews based on things that I'm looking at and I'm actually trading. But it's going to be after the fact, because I don't want people trying to trade what I trade, because even if I have some bad trades, I will show those trades also. I have given a hint of something else that I'm already in. If you watch my videos pretty consistent and I will be sharing that when I'm done with it, maybe later this month or maybe next month. I know the trade was done, one of the trades were done today. But that's it. This is Solomon, Right Side Trader, and this is all I really want to share at this time. Hope you guys having a happy new year and enjoying this first week. It's not even the full week, but this first few days of trading. And I'll talk to you later. Time for that market review. Have a good one. Bye.